Hey Goobs, it's Goblin. Today we have someone who loves indie authors as much as I do, has created such a supportive and loving community on her page, and is such a big Penn Cole fan that we're gonna have to fight over her immediately. This is Kaycee from Reading4Vibes. Hey, it's Goblin. Are you ready to yap? Hi! I'm so happy you're here!
Happy to be here.
Yay! Yeah. First of all, your love for Penn Cole rivals mine. And this is,
I feel like there's enough Penn to go around because she's so amazing and so lovely that we could
that's
totally
fair.
share her, and that'll be fine.
That's fair. That's so fair. Oh my gosh, I love her. I love Penn.
Although I feel like she would also like us fighting over her too, because she likes to
See,
stir
that,
the
yes,
pot. So it could go either way.
that's the problem, actually. She loves the fight. She she posted on Threads recently or replied to somebody recently and she was like, "Actually, I love when people fight over me, so this is perfect." And I was like, "Okay, great. Yeah, this is what she wants." Her goal in life is for everybody to just fight over her.
I love it. I love it, and I love the more people to fight over her because I feel like she deserves all the people, all the readers, all the fans. Like she's amazing. So, you know.
I could not agree more. So what got you started on Bookstagram? Why did you make an account?
Funny you should say that because it was pink hole. I was vacationing in France of all places, and I've
Whoa.
told her, yes, I've told her, I was like, if only I'd known where this would take me, like if only I would have loved you then as I do now, like I totally would have messaged you and asked you to meet me for coffee because that's how I am. But I was vacationing with my husband in France, and he had just got me a Kindle for my birthday, and so I had Kindle Unlimited. And I'd heard some people talking about a new series, a new romantasy that was taking off. And I was like, okay, well, let me check it out on KU. And so I read Spark of the Everflame and I became obsessed. And not only did I become obsessed with Spark of the Everflame and Glow and Heat, but I became obsessed with Penn Cole because, as you have said, she is amazing. And I had a personal Instagram account and I followed her and followed some other book people. And just, I was telling my sister, I was telling my mom, I was like, you've got to read these books. I need to talk to someone about these books. And I was telling friends, and no one was picking them up. And so that I knew in real life. And so I was like, you know what? I need to talk to people. And I went back and forth for a few months, like talking to my husband, like, should I do this? He's like, what are you going to lose? Like, just start an account and start talking. And I was like, what if no one follows me? He's like, what if they don't? I mean, who cares? Like, just do it. And I'm so glad that he like talked me out of my phone, self doubt and all of that, because I have found such amazing community, have made such amazing friends, and met amazing authors. And it's been incredible. It's been absolutely incredible. And it was a little over a year ago. Like I think it did in August of last year. And it was all because I discovered the Kindred's Curse saga and I could not shut up about it.
This is so funny. Our stories are so similar because I read Spark of the Everflame before I had a book account. I knew a couple friends that had also read the same books as I did, and somebody messaged me, "Don't talk to her very frequently," and she was just like, "This is the book you need to read, and I need you to reply, like tell me everything you think." And I was like, "Well, okay." And so I read all three of them in 3 days, which is insane.
Did you
And
at all? No.
I was up until like 5 each night. I couldn't put it down. I was telling Penn that I like finished the first one in a day and then I went onto her account because again I didn't have a book account, so I didn't like follow her prior. And so I went on her account, and the first thing is like reading orders, like, "Oh, this is where you can take a break." And I was like,
Could have used that.
yeah, clearly. So I read them all, and then I didn't get a Bookstagram account until August of 2024. So like we're like very similar.
We are. I mean, almost down to, I mean, the exact same month and everything. That's
I
amazing.
know.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Penn is amazing, but that story is just incredible. I love how many people it's like connected, you know?
Well, and that's the thing is, I think I am not very aesthetic and I don't know much about editing. And I think like my second or third post, I found this trending audio and it was like, show me the series on that you look for on other people's bookshelves to know like you're your people. And I put up the Kindred's Curse Saga. And so I started finding people through that. And then like anytime I would see someone who'd talk about it or like if Penn shared the story, like I'd immediately go to their page and start like commenting like, I love this series. And I would hop in people's DMs were reading it. Like I was insane. And I felt like a stalker, like I felt so crazy because I was so excited about it. But it also helped because I was uninhibited. Like I didn't stop and get embarrassed or like think, should I message this person or not? I just Kool-Aid Man crashed into DMs and was talking about it. And it started building connection and friendships. And I've met so many incredible people because of that.
I think I think that's one of the most special things about Bookstagram is the lack of inhibitions, the lack of like fear of looking weird or being silly or whatever, because it's so celebrated. It's so celebrated to be like your most authentic self on Bookstagram. And I think there are very few places in the world that it's like that. And yeah, that's just really special to me.
It's not to already cry. Like I don't know if we need to have a cry meter for this podcast because I am a
We
crier.
should.
The first time I met Gretchen Powell, I told her how many times I've cried at because I met her at Villains and Vixens and how many because I knew she was cried on the internet a lot. So I was like, let me tell you how many times I've cried. And I'm like, okay, stop. That's awkward. Like you've just met her. Literally all you've done is said hi.
She lives for that. She was
That's what
so
she
excited.
said. She's like, please always tell me how much you cry.
Yes.
But before I squirreled down that, like that is one of the things because not to get off, like I know this is your like you probably have an order of how you want to do it, but
I
I
don't care. No,
was
no, get out of order.
okay.
Do whatever you want. I love
I was
this.
craving connection. I moved to Ohio with my husband in 2019 and had our daughter a few months later. And then 3 months after that, the pandemic hit. And so
Mm,
I was up here in the throes of new motherhood with no friends in real life, no community. I mean, his family was here, but I had not had a chance to establish any friends on my own. And
mm,
then the pandemic hit, and I was so lonely because I am a pretty friendly person. I like to meet people in real life. And I was just, since being up here, I mean, it's 6 years now. I have craved that connection and that community, and I've found it in this space, in Bookstagram, where, and to go back deeper, like all of my life, I've always felt kind of on the outside, like I was either too much or not enough, which is
mm.
hard to feel that way at the same time, but it's true. And being here, like I feel like I can be 100% myself and be as enthusiastic as I feel that I can be. And people not only accept it, but they celebrate it. And that's one of the things they love about me. And that's the fact that I am 42 years old and getting that acceptance and getting that ability to be my true self for the first time in my life. Like it's incredible. It's
Yeah.
absolutely incredible that this space does that for people.
Yeah.
So
I
sorry.
I no. Oh, that makes me so
I
happy
know, sorry.
though. No, never apologize. I love this. I think it's not talked about enough, like how cool it is in this community. I think it's very often shown, the back and forth of like negative things in the book space, right? Like there's don't do this or you shouldn't do this or like hey, let's not be assholes to each other or whatever. Like stop tagging authors in reviews, whatever. But like there's so much good to the community and I love having a space to talk about how good it is.
Yeah. Yes. And I think that especially in today's world, and especially when so much of the heavy stuff is on demand 24/7, it's in our pockets, it's in our
Mhm.
faces, like all of the heaviness of the world and what's going on, in the United States and across the world. This isn't something new. But it does feel extra heavy because it's always on demand. It's always there in front of us. So having the ability to uplift the good and to highlight the good, it's I know some people say, well, that's just escapism, but I think that promotes hope and connection and community, and that's something we need more than anything right now, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, I love the saying that like hope and joy is a form of protest. like having spaces and having like parts of your life that are very joyful and very hopeful is that form of protest. And like being able to exist in a space that is so hard and so heavy, but like finding the places where you can be joyful and be hopeful for like a better future. Without that stuff, like it's very hard to move forward. And I think just in general, everybody should always be looking for their little pockets of joy and hope as we move forward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree 100%. And I think not only looking for the joy in this space, but has introduced me to so many authors that I probably otherwise wouldn't stumble across, to be able to uplift them and support them. I think is pretty incredible too. And that's why because I am very embarrassed that I didn't even know really what an indie author was or what indie publishing was before, stumbling upon Penn and starting my Bookstagram account. I didn't really think about it that much, right? Because you see whatever the books are in the bookstore and you like it, you pick it, or someone will tell you about it. But now discovering this whole amazing group of authors that are just their talent astounds me. Like they're so incredible.
I
And not
know.
only that, but like the artists and the podcasters and the book merch people that come up with incredible book merch. Like it's this whole community of incredible people that I probably wouldn't have stumbled upon, and now I get to scream about them so that other people can learn about them. And that feels
Yeah.
pretty incredible.
I could not agree more. It was so funny. So I made my account in August and I met Gretchen like I think either end of August or end of October. And so like I I got like really thrust into like this is what this world is. And she asked me, she was like, "Hey, like would you want to beta read my book?" And I was like, "Yeah, what's that?"
This is what dreams are made of.
No, literally. But I had no idea what it was. I had no clue what it was. Like, I was signed up for her newsletter. I always tell her this. Like, I remember getting the first ever Smoke and Scar newsletter where she like the first time she was like, she's 200 and whatever, and he's da 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 da. And like, it was like the first time I saw it, and I was like, oh my God, purple hair, how cool. And it's just crazy, like, to see what she's done. But like, she asked me to beta read her book. And I was like, I just said yes, and then I was like, I don't know what that means, but yeah, like I'm in. And so she finished it at the end of, I think it was like end of October. I was on a work trip. My husband and I were gone for 2 weeks on a work trip, and I like stayed home from dinner or stayed at the hotel from like a dinner outing with like clients and stuff so that I could read her.
I love that. I love that.
But yeah, so figured out what beta reading was, figured out what indie authors were, and then obviously the rest is history. She just hit 20,000 and is now trad published, and she's crazy. But it's really cool because like this is the anniversary of me like reading it for the first time and like being a part of like the whole journey.
Oh, I love
Um
that.
yeah, and it's like that never would have happened without this thing, like without this silly little account where I decided to call myself Goblin. Like, what the heck, Like, the fact that it has connected me with some of the most incredible people on the planet. And all I did was just one day was like, nah, I'll do it. Who cares, So
That's
good.
incredible. Yeah, and not only like yes, Gretchen's journey is amazing, but you're dev editing all these authors, you're doing websites, you're like doing all these amazing things with these authors and getting to see some really incredible works in progress and just
Yeah.
I think that is so cool. Like I think that
Yeah.
is absolutely amazing.
It's insane that I'm like booked at like for dev editing like all the way into next year and I didn't know what beta reading was a year ago. Like that's crazy.
I don't even think I know what dev editing is. Like I know that there are different types of editing for a book, but I don't really know. I haven't dug
Do you
into what.
want me to tell you?
Yes, I do. And all you
Okay.
listeners, listen up.
Yeah, but listen up, everybody. If you're looking to write a book, anyway, or you're in the middle of writing, whatever. So, developmental editing is less. So obviously you have like proofreaders and stuff like that, or like line and copy editors, which is more like the use of the right your and your, or a period goes here, or a comma goes here, or like, hey, this sentence or this word, it should be a different word or whatever. That's like typical editing. If I'm honest, the difference between line and copy editing, don't ask me. I don't do that. So I don't know. I don't know. But my specialty is developmental editing. And so what that is basically I am focused on the plot. I am focused on your character's intentions, the way that a character, like when you introduce this character, is this character still the same person that they are in chapter 1 as they are in chapter 32? Does your plot make sense, right? Are this one specific thing that you introduced, how did you introduce it and how is it affected for the rest of the book, right? And so like I'm gonna make up something really quickly. So if a character is introduced that they can talk, yeah, if a character is introduced that they can talk to dead people, right? This is so fake. I literally am making this up on the spot. But if a character is introduced that they can talk to dead people, I basically will read the story and make sure that how they talk to dead people, why they talk to dead people, all of the ramifications of that all are consistent throughout the entire book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's about character intention. It's about what do we feel is missing? Is there a reunion that should have happened, but it doesn't? Are we getting it? It's a lot of like, is there fulfillment in the book? Do we feel like where all of the characters are getting the right things that they should, but while also like making sure that the author's voice is at the forefront correct, right? So I'm not trying to change the author's voice. I'm not trying to alter the way that an author writes. If they write a certain way, I'm not worried about, oh, they're more like flourishy with their descriptions. I'm not trying to edit that. Mine is just making sure that the structure and the plot and the characters all have a consistent output throughout the whole book.
Okay.
And
All
then
right.
if you're writing series, so I can make sure, like, if we're in book 3, what about these things that you talked about in books 1 and 2, you know? So that's what I
Very
do.
cool. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but I think like it's so like I just liked it. I like it. I like dissecting it. I like getting in there and being like, this is so good, but what if we did this? And they're like, that's such a good idea. So it's my
I
favorite.
think that's so amazing. Like you are helping like put the baby all in a nice bundle. I mean, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think I talk about this a lot, but like when you think of writing a story, right? And you write that story, if you're looking at the words, it's going to look perfect to you.
Hmm.
There's no every time you look at your own thing, you're gonna miss all of the edits. You know, like I could read the same text message 4 times and still misspell 3 words because I logically, like not logically, but like I'm staring at it and it just looks right to me.
Yeah.
But when you have that second set of eyes, like they're able to kind of like dissect that and be like, okay, but they were holding a teacup and now they're not holding a teacup. So where's the teacup, dude? You
Yeah.
didn't set it down, you know?
You take a few
So
steps back to see the whole picture versus just like one tree, you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's a lot easier for somebody else to do that to your book than it is for you to do it to your own. So
Yeah.
that's what I do. That's dev editing.
I love it. I've learned something new now. So thank you for educating me.
You're welcome. You're so welcome. But yeah, I love it. I have a really good time, but it is really funny. I'm literally looking at the date right now. It's November 9th. I finished Gretchen's book, I think like November second or third of last year. So that's crazy. Like
Yeah,
my first ever beta read to now.
yeah. And now Splintered Kingdom is coming out in on Tuesday on the
On
11th. Yeah.
I know this podcast will be out a couple weeks after that, but yes, when we're recording
Oh
this,
yeah, sorry.
no, you're fine, you're fine. But yeah, when we're recording this, it'll be out in 2 days, and oh my gosh, I'm so excited for her. Yeah, I get to see her in a week. Also,
Yay!
I'm going to the one of her release parties, but that will have already happened when this podcast is out.
Still
But
excited
yeah,
now for
yeah, it's so exciting.
yeah.
I love her. She's the best. Wait, you went to Villains. Obviously, we met. Where are you
Yeah.
located? Like
So
what
I
state?
am in Ohio, but I actually
Oh,
was born in Gainesville, Texas. So my dad's family all lives in the Gainesville Denton area, which is not far from DFW. Um,
no.
and then my heart is in Nashville, Tennessee. Like that's where I grew up predominantly, and then moved
Okay.
back to. But I've been all over the South. Like my family's in Arkansas. So
All over.
yeah,
Oh
yes,
my
but now I
goodness.
am in Ohio. But I'm very much a Southern girl, and we are supposed to get our first snowstorm of the season tonight. But it's my daughter's birthday tomorrow, and so like I have some stuff I need to do when I get off this podcast with you, like go get her cake, go get balloons, and I'm like, I told my husband, I was like, please keep an eye on the weather, and he's like, I can go do those things. Like I'm still very Southern when we were supposed to get snow, and I'm like, I don't,
No.
yeah, yes,
We don't do snow, and when it happens, we don't do it well.
yeah,
It's
yes, and
very
that's
bad.
and when I had my daughter 6 years ago, my mom and grandmother were up, and there was a snow event when I was in the hospital, and they were like freaking out, my mom and grandma, because they were just like, and I was like, I promise it'll be okay. They treat the roads here. They, you won't even like notice, like it'll be, but they were like freaking out. So
Yeah. I mean, a snowy Texas is much different from like a snowy northern state. Like, for those of you who have never experienced it, and snow is not correct. That's
that was
not what it
ice,
is.
sleet,
It is
ice.
ice. It
Yeah.
is ice and it's disgusting. It is not like winter wonderland. We don't have that. We have ice and then it coats the road. And because we're not used to it, nobody salts the road. So we don't know, like, there was oh God, I think it was like 4 years ago. It was like 133 car pileup on one of our highways because we don't know how to handle ice
Hmm.
in Texas and pipes
And
were
you lose
bursting.
power. You have no power.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, no
crazy.
power, pipes, like
Hmm.
places are flooded. It's horrible. It's
Yeah,
horrible.
yeah.
So we coming from I wasn't born in Texas, but I've lived here since I was 9, so I'm very familiar with all of this. But yeah, so I get it. Southern girlies, we don't know.
Yes,
We,
yes.
we don't know snow.
Yes. And I miss that where you are expected to stay in and everything closes and you have a snow day. And up here it's just business as usual. And which it is nice. Like I do enjoy the snow sometimes,
Yeah.
but by about January, I'm over all the gray skies. Like it's so dark outside now. And I like the sunshine and I mean fall is my time. Like if I would be happy if it was 60 degrees, 60 to 70 and
Yes.
fall vibes and just that makes my heart happy. Um, Gray snow all the time is, I mean, it snowed in May my first 2 years up here. And I'm like, and I looked at my
In
husband,
May?
yes. And I told him, I said, where did you move me to? Like, what is this? Um,
Oh my
so
gosh, that's
yeah,
insane.
yeah.
That is insane.
So you just never know up here, like what you're like when it's going to be. So,
Oh
and that's
my
what, my
gosh.
husband was like, oh, we had fall for 2 weeks and now it's winter. So yay.
No, we literally today it was like, I think my husband said it was like 60, but feels like 50. And he was like, are you bringing a jacket? And I was like, yeah, I probably should.
Yeah.
We're we're not used to it, guys.
No, no. And
We're
it's always feels colder. Like I play this sadistic game with myself up here because I'm like trying to prove something to myself as the Southern girl. Like I can out tough these Northern people, so I'm not going to wear a jacket and I'm going to go as long as I can without wearing a jacket. Nobody is suffering for that but myself. Like I'm not doing anything,
they
but
don't
yeah,
care.
yeah. So, but yes, I I am a Southern girl. born and raised, and then now I live outside of Akron, Ohio.
Wow. So with all of the like places you've lived in, do you think that has like kind of impacted your ability to, because I mean, we talked about like feeling a little bit too much, feeling like not enough. Like, do you think moving around has kind of like been an impactful on that?
I never thought about that because I've always, until moving up here, which part of it is as you get older, as you're a grown up, it's harder to make friends because
Mm,
we have the baggage of life and we're a lot less likely to be vulnerable and open. Like with a
mm.
kid, you're like, oh, you like purple, I like purple, let's be best friends, you know? And you're willing to like open your mind to people with just such a small connection and build upon that. And then as
Mm.
we get older, like we lose that. Like life kind of beats us out of that, not to sound very grim, but that's
Yeah.
the case. And so everywhere I've gone, like I've always made friends and had and my best friend who lives outside of Nashville, Tennessee that I grew up with, like we've been best friends since fourth grade, but she's down there and I'm here. And for a lot of it, we were in different stages of life because she married her high school sweetheart. She'd been married. I didn't get married till I was 36. Um,
Mm,
and so we were just in very different stages of our life. And I love her and she's more like family than friend. But, it's hard when you're so far apart. And it's funny because she was very into indie authors and the book scene back in like 2012. And like she's
wow.
very introverted, but she like took her first trip by herself and like made some book friends and like did book cons. And so when I decided to go to Villains and Vixens, I called her and I was like, "You're never gonna guess," because she kept trying to get me. She's like, you need to see indie authors, but I was like in a totally different part of my life. And now like I'm trying to get her back over to this side of things because she's just kind of in a slump and not really doing anything with the book world. And I'm like, come back. I get it now. I get how amazing it is. Um,
Come back.
yeah. So, so I've always had her as kind of my anchor and my best friend. But she stayed largely where we're from and I've moved a lot. And so part of it is just I get in my own head. And then the other part is just feeling like I have to conform to be a certain way
Mm.
because of the way I look. Kind of bridging on what led me to sign up for your podcast or apply for it. Oh, now I'm throwing my computer around. Is because I saw your opening thing that you did, your opening intro episode about, faking it, faking confidence. And I feel like I've been working towards that my whole life.
Mm.
Where especially growing up in the 90s, it was brutal. I mean, diet culture, heroin chic. I there I felt like I was the only fat girl in the world sometimes. I
Mm.
didn't have people that looked like me in magazines. I didn't have people that looked like me on TV shows, except I think Cameron Manheimer, I can't remember her name now, and that's awful, but she was a lawyer and she was plus size, and I thought that was amazing, but she was literally the only one. And then there weren't books, especially
Mm.
books where someone who looked like me deserved love. And I always felt like I had to overcompensate by being this perfect person so that people could accept me in spite of what I looked like versus who I
Mm.
really was. Um, and I've carried that with me for so much of my life. And then I think it was 2012, I tried to start a fitness blog on Instagram. And it was before really influencers were a thing, like right before, like right on the cusp. So it never
Yeah.
really took off, but I had a blog and it was called The Misadventures of a Voluptuous Single, where I talked about being
That's a cute
single.
title.
Yeah, thank you. The website's dead now because I didn't renew my WordSpace or Squarespace or whatever it was. But I would write about being healthy, even though traditionally my body type was not viewed as healthy.
Mm.
I went to the gym and worked out a lot. My blood work was perfect, like all this stuff. And just trying to break down that misconception that just because you look a certain way meant that you were unhealthy, meant that you were undesirable. And I feel like that's been my life's purpose because I've always looked like this. Like I've always been this size.
Yeah.
I even looking back though, when I was a kid, like I thought I was this horrendous monster fat kid.
Mm.
And I look back on pictures and I was a normal chubby kid, but I was on Weight Watchers in sixth grade. I'd been on this up and down diet culture pretty much my whole life. And
Yeah.
I said the other day to my husband, I was like, I wonder if I never would have been put on a diet for just going through puberty and all the different diets that I've been on. Like if I hadn't done any of that and I just had a normal relationship with food, like where my body would be and what my life would look like.
Yeah.
And sorry, I dive down into stuff and I
As you
go all
should.
over
I
the
love
place.
it. Keep going. No, this is
But
great.
I didn't really heal my body image and myself until I had a daughter. And
Mm.
that's when I was like, you know what? This has to stop. I never want her to think about herself how I had thought about myself, how I would
Yeah.
look in the mirror and think that I was not worthy of love, that I was not worthy of basic human compassion, or all of the things that I've done in my life and accomplished because I looked a certain way. And how much I would kill myself working out and doing
Yeah.
things and, starving myself sometimes. I guess I should say trigger warning because, that could bring up some triggers for stuff. But I feel like the mental space that I put into counting calories that could have been used for something else. I never want my daughter to go through that. I never want her, who she loves me exactly as I am, to hear me say such negative things about the person she looks up to and that she considers, her best friend and her mom. I don't want those things. And that
Yeah.
right then, like making that decision when I was pregnant with her, and just, I wasn't going to let this consume me like it did. And that's part of the thing, tying it back to Bookstagram. Like, I show up a lot of times with no makeup on. I show up, with my body, and talking about, being plus size. Like, I did a cover recreation of Zom Romcom in some very tight fitting overalls that I never would have done before. Like, I just feel like I have the freedom to be exactly who I am. And part of it is that I'm so tired. I'm so tired of bearing that weight and that expectation and that heaviness, that I am unlovable or undesirable because I look a certain way. And I feel like our world has gotten much better. We still have a lot of work to do,
Of
but it's
course.
night and day from where it used to be.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty, like, seeing plus size, desirable women as the heart of a romance novel or any kind of, like, that's incredible to me. Like, that, and
Yeah.
as it should be,
Yeah.
because everyone is worthy of love. Everyone is worthy of love. And, no matter what you look like. And so if you are struggling, I want you to hear me, that you are worth it and you deserve it, no matter what you look like. Okay.
Claps, claps all around. No, that I couldn't agree more. I think as women, we are in general, there's always something in our life that like some kind of outer expectation that was put on us, regardless of what it is, right? I I actually like hate the doctor completely because of this reason I'm about to explain. But when I was in middle school, I was the skinniest I've ever been in my life. I ran my track in like 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Like I was so fit. I was like working out every single day. And I went to the doctor and she told me I was 30 pounds overweight. And I like since then was just like do I like am I not seeing the right thing? And it's like for a doctor to be the one that gave you like body dysmorphia is crazy to me.
But
But
sadly, that's not to me. Because I have so many friends and
yeah,
myself have experienced that bias by a medical professional.
yeah.
And BMI is such bullshit. But I mean, it's
The
don't even
biggest
get me.
bullshit ever.
Yes, do not even get me started. Do not even get me started on that. But I am sorry that you went, and at
Yeah.
such a formative and impactful part of your
Yes.
time of your life.
And it didn't help that like I was also bullied like all throughout middle and high school. I had really bad acne, like the worst acne you could probably like ever imagine. Like I was called proactive, like it was a whole thing. And so I was like bullied at school for my face and but I was like, but I'm in shape, like I'm really, really strong. And then I go to the doctor and she's like, actually your body sucks too. And I'm like, bruh, what? Like I can't catch a break no matter where I'm at. So middle and high school were not a great time for me. And like I know you said you were like growing up in the 90s. I was growing up or so I'm 27. So in middle and high school it was like 2010 to 2016, like around that area. And so that was the start of social media. So I was a formative child and the beginning of social media. And so, yeah,
Tough.
so not only was I dealing with it in like in person things like that, I also it was the first time I was like online and like getting that perspective at the same time. So I I think like it's really like it sucks, obviously. Like it sucks that we had to deal with that. But I also do feel a lot of like camaraderie with so many women that have dealt with the same thing because we get to kind of like look at that and then look at like the space that we're in and be like, bro, like all the things that we were told were stupid or were too much or were too loud or we're too fat or whatever. It's like all of those things are so celebrated in all of these books, and you get to meet the people that wrote about them, and you get to see authors who have the same body type as you, or you get to see other, book characters that look exactly like you or think exactly like you. The first time I read a book where a character had ADHD, I was like, oh my God, like I'm not crazy. Like
Yeah.
it's so just special. It's special to like take all of that and then be here and feel welcomed and just feel like this is where we should be, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And books are so powerful because
Mm,
not only do I think it helps foster connection with other people because it gives us words that we may not have otherwise. And
yeah.
you are reading about it and you're bonding over it with someone else. And it, to me, like I've been in someone's DMs and we've talked about a book and it's brought us to a much deeper level. And then we start opening up about our past with each other and other things that the book has touched our lives about, and usually that unlocks a key memory or something else, and it just fosters this connection where I wouldn't have had words to other. I mean, because you're not just gonna like message them with, "Hey, what's up? I know we're just talking. Let me tell you about this trauma I had when But having that type of bonding and having it through a book builds that connection, and it's a much
Yeah.
deeper connection than you would have otherwise. And then on another like vein, for me, because I grew up, we were pretty poor growing up, and I
Yeah.
didn't travel, like we didn't have lavish vacations or anything like that. But I like reading about the world through books and reading about other people's lived
Oh, that's so
experiences.
true.
Like it taught me, one, it taught me empathy because it taught me that there are other people that are going through much worse things than I've gone through,
Yeah.
and what their lived experiences are. But two, it opened up the world to me and it made me curious about things. And I feel like I'm the person I am today because I loved books so much.
Mm,
So
I love that.
they're
This
incredible.
is this whole podcast is just a love letter to books.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I mean, it is.
it is. Oh my goodness. I love that so much. So you mentioned you had your daughter right before COVID.
Mhm.
How has like being I know you mentioned this to me prior to the podcast that like having a bookstagram has helped you feel creative again, like through your like while you're being a mother and you're being told you need to do all of these things. Like how has bookstagram kind of like helped bridge that for you?
So motherhood is the hardest thing I've ever done. Full stop. Like it is
Mm,
the hardest thing that I have ever done.
yeah,
And it has taken so much that I like it's much harder. Like, you see, of course, people, especially with social media, you see the highlight reels and people's snapshots
of
and
course.
and also people, especially in motherhood, like you have this pressure to feel like you have it all together. So you are much less likely to talk about the hard stuff. And
Yeah.
that is changing too, which is incredible. But when I had my daughter, I remember thinking, why is this so hard? Like, how come I am having such a hard time with it when no one else seems to? And
Oh,
of course, some of that is a story you tell yourself that
yeah.
you're the worst at this. Because my daughter she was very difficult in the beginning because she had some like milk issues and like trying to figure it out. And so I would get like an hour of sleep at night, and it was hard. And
Yeah.
I didn't want to do anything. Like I've always been a pretty creative person. I love to sing. I love music. I've always written like poems, and I started writing a story when I was taking the bar exam as a creative outlet. Like I've always had some type of creative outlet.
Yeah.
And when I became a mom and then the pandemic hit, and I was so lonely and
Mm,
just so like in my head about how awful of a mother I was. And then I went back to work, and I'm an attorney, and that's a very stressful job field, and so work is very
yeah.
stressful and motherhood is very stressful, and I felt like I had completely lost myself. Like there was no me, something for me. There was no creative joy. There was no, I just felt like I existed to be a mom and my professional life and then a wife. And there was just nothing of me left over. And so
Mm.
when I started this Bookstagram account, it brought back so much joy into my life of just little things. And then it made me like start to want to get creative. And with the re-release of Spark, I did Pentober because it came out October, I think October 8th. And I did the days of Pentober leading up to the re-release of Spark. And one of it, like I was singing like on the second of Pentober, my true love gave to me. And like it just started making up silly songs about books.
Yeah,
And then at Christmas time, I did different Christmas parodies based upon like books. Like I think one
that's
was
so
like Bring Me a
cool.
Shadow Daddy, like Santa Baby or something like that. I don't even remember now. But I've started like just making silly little book songs, but they bring me so much joy and they make me so happy. And
Yeah.
where in the past I would be kind of embarrassed by that because they're silly and I mean they're just 100% fun, joyful, and silly. And I didn't feel like I deserved that, and so I would be
Mm.
embarrassed about it. And now, like I fully embrace it, and it's so much fun for me.
Yeah,
And it's just for me. Like I do it just for me. And like with Gretchen, I because Illyria and Ophelia, like Taylor Swift song just came out, and like I kept singing Illyria to the tune of The Fate of Ophelia. So then I did a little song for Gretchen about Illyria and to the tune of that song. So it's just it
yeah.
helped me reconnect with that part of myself. And I didn't realize how much I missed it until it came back.
Mm. I love I love what you said about like just like finding that joy like for me because that's the biggest thing. I think a lot of people ask me, like where do you find the confidence to like post this? And I'm like, it's mine. Like I post for me. If it gets a lot of traction, cool, awesome. I'm glad you found some joy in it as well. But like I post for me. I talk like I love to say like if it flops, good. Like I hope you saw that it flopped. Like I don't care. I don't care. I'm not gonna hide my likes. I'm not going to worry about if this post got 10 comments or this got 105 comments. Like I don't care. The point of my account has always and will always be for me and what I can do for indie authors to help them excel. And I think that's missing. I think a lot of people are just worried about the like count, worried about the follow for follow, worried about how do I get my numbers up? And it's like, are you even having fun? Like, are you having fun? Because that feels like a job. That feels like you're turning this into something that is stressful and competition like. And you got to go back to, is this fun for you? Like, are you doing this for your enjoyment? And if you're not, maybe don't do it. Maybe figure out what's going to be fun because that doesn't feel fun. At least to me. If that's fun for you, like I love that. If that is fun for you, great. But like for me, turning this into like a competition or I have to check each one of my posts and make sure that I post at this time to make sure it'll get that this again. I can't do it. I literally post today at like 2 o'clock, say like me crying about a book. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I never post on Sundays, but I was like, sounds good. Post. Like I said to my husband, I was like, wouldn't this be funny? And he goes, yeah, you should do it. And I was like, okay. And then I posted. Like there's no rules. And I think like an audience gravitates towards that, like they gravitate towards the authenticity. They gravitate towards you look like you're having fun. I want to have fun with you. So I think finding that joy and finding what makes you the happiest is that's how you grow your account. That's my
And grow as a
soapbox.
person. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I could not agree more. It's fulfilling, It's fulfilling to have a space where you get to be like exactly yourself.
Yes. And I said to my husband the other day because I got some exciting news and it's not public yet. But and I was like I'm in shock. Like I can't believe that this is my life. Like that I get to do these cool bookish things and I get to meet incredible authors and I'm on a podcast. I can't believe that this is my life and it's so fun and it's so freeing and it's just so joyful.
Oh, that makes me so happy. Oh, this has been so good. I have loved talking with you. Are you ready to do our Goblin's favorites real quick?
Yes, although this is stressing me out, like to narrow it down to
Why?
just a favorite because I have so many favorites. Like there are so many people I want to talk about. But no, yes, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay. And now it's time for Goblin's favorites of the episode. All right, we're gonna get started on our Goblin's favorites. Kaycee, you can go first.
Okay. All right. I can never just pick one favorite. So I have four favorites to shout out right now, which of
I
course,
love.
and Glow of the Everflame.
Have
Of,
to.
of the three books out, like Glow is my absolute favorite. Just DM's character arc in it. It's found family, like just all the complexities and layered. I could talk for hours. So I'll just say pick up the Kindred's Curse Saga if you haven't already. Quit living
If
under a
you
rock.
haven't, if you haven't already, what are you doing? What are
Yes,
you
yeah.
doing?
Like, get out from under the rock and go pick it up and read it
Come
and then
on.
come into my DMs and we'll talk about it. The second one is Lunaria by Kara Douglas.
Ooh, that's
If
cool.
you are a Shadow Daddy fan, gonna tell you about my boy Graylin Garridon. I talked about his tattoos so much that my husband, who has no tattoos, was like, "Do I need to go get a sleeve?" And I'm
Stop.
like, "Yes, immediately, if not sooner." And he actually bought temporary tattoos. Anyway, that's a whole other story, but it's because
Oh
of
my
right
gosh.
here. Like just and Kara's writing's amazing. This is the first book in the series. Just meet my man Graydon. Okay.
I have a real idea for you.
Oh, okay.
With his temporary tattoos. Have you seen
Oh,
those
yeah.
ones? Okay, have you seen those ones where she like opens the book and it's like I don't know, like you're not real or something and he's like, "Yes, I am." And he like grabs chin and turns, but the
Oh,
guy's never on camera. It's just like his
okay.
hand and she turns and then like the hand like is gone. But like he could be fake okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh, yeah. I might have to look into that because he has no like he is anti like no social media, nothing. He created an Instagram account just to be able to comment about how amazing I am on my Instagram account. But he only has one post and it's like a screenshot of mine. And I was like, that's not how that works. But anyway, yes.
Yeah,
So that's funny.
I love it.
All right, and then next is Kissed by the Gods by Katy Rogan.
My
I
queen.
definitely think pick up Unwritten first because to me, like just an 80-page novella, like if you like Six Scorched Roses, like Unwritten is perfection
Ooh.
and has so much like depth and emotion
Yeah,
in just 80 pages. Like that highlights how incredible of an author Katy is.
I
But
love.
Kissed by the Gods, like I told Katy, which she actually signed it. Sorry for making you fall for a blonde MMC because I never liked the blonde. And yes, pick it up.
Listen, that blonde can do no wrong in my eyes.
I agree,
That blonde
100%.
can do whatever he wants, actually.
Yes. And not only is
I
her writing amazing, but Katy is amazing, and the community she built on her street team, like she is just an incredible human. So pick it. It's on KU.
I love
Actually,
Katy. Just big shout outs to Katy.
yes,
We
and I
love
think
her.
all of these are on KU. So
Sweet.
bonus. And then
Yes.
the last is The Book of Sin by H.M. Wolfe. I this book, like it was just her writing, like sucks you in. The
Mhm.
characters are great. Found family's great. Um, she has a dystopian book coming out in December, which I think is going to be incredible, and I can't wait for. But I really like her writing, and I thought this book was incredible. So check it out.
And I love her. She's great.
Yes, yeah,
Ah, good
yeah,
Rex.
yeah.
Amazing, amazing. That's so cute. Okay. My rec, I'm gonna do this. He'll put it right here. But it is called Whiskey Weather by Lainey Lawson.
Ooh.
And it feels like very timely right now because it is a quick novella snowed in book. And it is one of my favorite things I've ever read. So I read it as an arc last January. No, not last, this January. It's what month is it? What year are we in? 2025. January 2025 is when I read it. That feels so long ago. Okay, January 2025 is when I read it. And I kid you not, I could not stop thinking about it. Like it is it is one of those that just like sticks in your brain and it's perfect and I love them so much and like she's a photographer and he works on like a ranch whatever and they get snowed in and it's a whole thing and it's so cute and it's
Have me
spicy.
sold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's spicy and it's lovely and I also just love Lainey so much. She has 4 books out right now. And I love her. She's my everything. I literally sign up for her arcs every time they come out and I told you I don't sign up for arcs. So like I sign up for her arcs every time. But yeah, I love Lainey. I love Whiskey Weather. We geek out about it all the time. So it felt really timely right now because of the time of year it is. So I need you all to go read that and then tell me what you think because I love it. So that's my rec.
Nice.
Cute. Okay, I'm gonna let you have any time if you want to like shout out anything, tell people to go follow your Instagram, anything you want to chat about.
I mean, definitely come follow my Instagram, especially if you're musically nerdy and like silly parodies about books. Come follow me. It's Reading for Vibes. I do not, I think I'm the only person in the world that doesn't have a TikTok. I don't. I'm only on
I
Instagram.
don't have one either.
Okay. All right. See, we're twins.
We're twins.
Um, but I just really want to take this time to tell you that if you are struggling with body image, with self-worth, with please reach out to a friend, reach out to a professional, reach out to me if you feel like you have no one else you can talk to. I'm always here
Mm.
because you are worth that. You are enough. You are absolutely 100% enough and amazing just as you are. So I just want you to know that. That's it.
Oh, I love you. You're the cutest ever. I'm so happy to have you on. This chat was amazing. I loved everything we talked about. This was so good.
I did too. And I one last thing because I had messaged you like I was like I feel like imposter syndrome because you've had some incredible guests. You've had some amazing people you've talked with and I'm like what in the world? So everyone just do it. Hop in the DMs, talk to people, be on the podcast. Like what you have to say is worthy. I keep going back to that, but I too have imposter syndrome and I felt like I was like what? Do you still want to talk to me? Like you have had so many amazing people. So
Of course.
just do it. This has been so much fun. This has been incredible.
Oh, that makes me so happy. I get those messages right before we I record like I'm really nervous and I'm like, "Don't. We're literally just chatting." But by the end everybody feels really like, "Oh, this is cool. This is just fun." So, I'm glad that came across, but I loved having you on. This was amazing. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yay. All right. I hope you have a great day. I hope y'all have a great day and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.